Here at Wilkes-Barre Knights main camp, I'm Andrew Mossbrooks, and in the midst of all the chaos that is main camp, the Knights and their staff are trying to figure out who are going to be members of the NAHL team. But right now, for the first time on Coach's Corner, we have Coach Mike Narrigan, the new head coach of the NA3HL team, which will debut here in Pittston, Pennsylvania just a little later on this year. And of course, Coach Narrigan, you're also going to be the assistant for the NAHL. First and foremost, welcome into Wilkes-Barre. Happy to see you here.
Good to be here.
And when we take a look at your resume, it's quite the resume. It's quite the background, and it scales beyond just coaching. You at one point were doing ticket sales for the Reading Royals. You have some referee experience. Just talk in general about your background in hockey and maybe how you got into it in the first place.
Yeah, so I played hockey starting at 5 and kind of played all the way up and through college. And in college, I was lucky enough to get an internship with the Reading Royals that led to a job, and I never really saw myself doing anything other than working in hockey in some capacity. So started with the Reading Royals and then kind of transitioned from there. Didn't really want to be in the front office, wanted to be more a part of the game operations side, and from there I got hired by the Nighthawks and kind of have just been coaching ever since. I refed through from high school and a little bit in college, got to be a level 3 ref. So kind of touched it all from front office to the coaching side. So it's been a fun ride.
So you wanted to stay in hockey your whole life. I think just like me, just like you, Coach Kowal, everybody wants to find a way after, unfortunately, they realize the NHL playing days aren't going to come. How can I stay in this? Did you immediately know that coaching was ultimately the route you wanted to get into?
No, I think initially I wanted to do front office. I thought that was a more realistic goal, and then I kind of tried to branch out a little bit when I just applied for the Connecticut job, and Graham was lucky enough to hire me, and then I got my first taste of coaching and figured that's kind of what I wanted to do for the rest of my life, or at least try to.
So for the first taste of coaching, I imagine there has to be some lessons learned there. Let's kind of go into that because you've been a lot of different places. We'll most notably talk about the Philadelphia Little Flyers and the Eastern Hockey League, where you did spend time as an assistant coach for a couple of years, but let's go back before that, go back to Connecticut. Talk about your first year as a coach, and what were some of the things that you can just remember, maybe not even the best of times. It was like, wow, I really need to learn.
Yes, so I was lucky enough to be hired by Graham Johnson, who in the previous couple of years had been with AIC, so he was an NCAA Division I coach, and he was nice enough to take his time out to show me pointers, give me things to do. So I had a really great mentor in him. I learned a lot from him in that first year. I don't want to say got overloaded, but I learned a lot from him, and what do's and don'ts to do. I learned how to run a practice, write a practice plan, little things from that to, I made trades on my own that year, so I kind of did it all as an assistant GM, assistant coach, and just kind of tried to soak it all up as much as I could that first year learning from him.
Well, when we then fast forward to the last 2 years and being a part of the Eastern Hockey League, the Knights know all about that league. In fact, they were a part of the Frozen Finals this past year and then have decided to move on and now to the NA3HL. But the Philadelphia Little Flyers, what a premier team this has been over the last 2 years. I think you guys lost, 4 games last season?
EHL 3, 48-3.
Yeah, 48-3. That's incredible numbers, and obviously that comes to help pad the resume a little bit. Yeah. And you and I spoke about a month ago, and we ended up putting an article up. You can find it still on WBSKnights.com. One thing you really talked about was you wanted to build a winning culture. And when you were in Philadelphia, you had the opportunity to experience that winning culture. What's it like?
Well, it's a lot of fun, to be honest with you, Andrew. It's a lot of dedication. It's a lot of, the main thing is, I think when we spoke, it's a lot of buy-in. You can't have 5 guys buy in, 5 guys not, 5 guys kind of have buy-in. It's a total team effort. You got from the coaching staff to the players to the training staff. It's just everyone's committed to one goal, and that's sort of what we focused on. Our goal was winning the EHL championship, and that's the kind of kids that we interviewed, the kind of kids we wanted to bring in. So I think it's just it's got to be a total buy-in from everyone within the organization.
Now we should admit, even though Tom may not want to, that the Philadelphia Little Flyers did take care of the Knights in the Frozen Finals come Providence College, and the New Hampshire Avalanche ended up winning it again, back-to-back years for them in the EHL. But now we turn a page. You're turning a page. The Knights organization is turning a page. We're going to the NA3HL. This is new for you.
Yep.
What have you learned so far in the information you've gathered about the NA3?
Different. It's a lot bigger. A lot more teams.
A lot more teams.
Like quadruple. But More travel, which can be a good or bad thing. I think there's the showcase in Blaine's a cool thing that we get to go out there and do that. It's kind of a cool experience for the guys. I think that they have a good exposure like the EHL as well, and it's an easy call up, easy transition between Tom and my teams. If I'm lucky enough to send some guys up there, which I plan on doing this year, so I think it's an easy transition to we're right under tier 2 teams right in the building.
Right.
So I think that's great, and I think that'll come in handy.
Well, there's a tier 2 team right in the building, and the benefit for you as well is you get to be an assistant coach for that tier 2 team. This has to be an exciting experience for you, not just every once in a while you get that breath of fresh air in a new organization, but also getting the opportunity to be at the tier 2 level. You said that you ultimately ended up realizing you wanted to be a coach. How cool is it to just see that you continue to climb the ladder?
It's cool. It was a step I didn't be asked me at the beginning of summer. I didn't think I'd be an assistant on a tier 2 team, but it's a step in the direction of, I guess, the plan you'd say as being a coach, and I'm really excited to experience the tier 2 game on the bench and kind of go from there and experience to coach a tier 2 team. I think it'll be fun, and I think it'll be a good experience for me, and like I said, it's something I didn't expect, but I'm excited for it.
Yeah, Coach Kowal ended up hiring Coach Narrigan for this position in early June, and right around that time he was finishing up the application process, the interviewing process. I've heard from his end, but I haven't heard from your end, Mike. How did that come about, this opening with the Knights, and then just what made this a right fit from you through the interviews and everything that you realized I want to come to Wilkes-Barre?
So I spoke to Tom on the phone once, and then I came up here for the first time we met. And I liked what Tom had to say about the family culture. Everyone, you're part of the Knights family now, and then everyone kind of helps each other. And I think that was something that I was looking for, and it kind of molded with what I'm looking for and kind of what I had in Philly. So I think it ended up just being a right fit for me.
Yeah, well, anytime a team goes 48-3 the season before, and you're somebody looking to hire, that candidate's going to stick out. Coach Mike Narrigan did. He's got the job. Coach, thank you for the time. We can't wait to see you here in Wilkes-Barre.
I'm excited.
Pleasure.
Thank you, man.